and welcome to the Enterprise World magazine. Today, we are honored to feature a forward-thinking entrepreneur who's shaping the future of technology through innovation, strategic vision, and a deep commitment to solving real-world business challenges. As the founder and CEO of Munch Technologies Pvt. He has been instrumental in building a technological-driven organization that focuses on delivering impactful digital solutions across industries. His journey reflects resilience, adaptability, and a strong belief in leveraging technology to create meaningful transformation in the APAC region and beyond. Please join me in welcoming the visionary leader behind Munch Technologies, Mr. Suresh Anantpurkar. Mr. Suresh, thank you so much for joining us today, and it's a pleasure to have you on this show. Thank you so much. It's an honor, sir. So let's get started with the segment one. So Mr. Suresh, to begin with, could you take us through your entrepreneurial journey and what inspired you to establish Munch Technologies Pvt.
Yeah, I spent good one decade in the US and came back to India, specifically to solve some very pressing issues in India and build a product company from India. That was my desire when I came back. I did my first startup in payments, and then in 2017 I started Munch. One of the key areas of pain that I saw was basically to do any activity, whether with business or with government, we had to spend a lot of time, have multiple documents to be signed multiple times and so on and so forth, and the KYC was all over the place. So I thought of a solution where why not have a centralized KYC platform wherein all the documents are at the same location and people don't have to run around, and the businesses also, as well as the government, also can benefit from that. So that was the basic premise. And what we said is Munch is basically going to be a digital transformation platform which will help organizations operate in a paperless, presenceless, and contactless manner. So that was the premise on which we built the company, and we continue to sort of live by that premise.
That's excellent. So what were some of the early challenges that you encountered while building a technology company, and also how did you navigate them?
So again, about now the things have changed, but when I started, India was still predominantly a services company, or known as a services company. And so we had to navigate through that challenge, really convince the customers in India that we can really build a world-class product from India. Because every time we went to a customer, we were compared against the global organizations or the global products. So we had to tell them that, hey, we are solving some very specific issues which are happening in India, and global solution really does not fit or solve those problems effectively. And that's how our journey started. And as we started, getting the traction, and as customers started seeing the benefit of what we do and what we talk about, I think the journey became that much more simpler. And they are now convinced that to solve India specific problems, we really need a product which really is originated and thought in India. One of the key things that we have seen is we can build in India, but for global, which to an extent, I think, the global companies do build global fantastic products, but to solve some specific issues and specific challenges of India, we really need to think through and have a deeper, penetration in the Indian market.
That's fantastic, sir. Munch Technologies has emerged as a growing name in the tech space today. So what key strategies help you scale and position your company in a competitive market?
Yeah, so I think really the key thing is to stay rooted, listen to what the customers want, and try and solve the pain. So at the core of it is, are you really solving a problem which is a pain for the customer, or is it a vitamin? So if it's a pain, then I think people will understand, people will see the benefit of it immediately, and the adoption is that much more simpler because there is an urgent need to solve that problem. and which is what we have done, ever since. We talk to the customers, we really try and understand what their challenges are. We stay closer to what we have started with, which is a digital orchestration platform. We need to build a digital orchestration platform. So there were instances where we said, no, we this is not what we do. And we had to really come back to our core principle of what we want to achieve. And there were challenges, but now we have overcome those.
That's great. How do you identify the right opportunities for innovation in a rapidly evolving digital landscape?
I think to survive in this industry and to stay ahead of the curve, one need to be innovative. We really need to, and innovation doesn't necessarily mean it's a technological innovation. It can be a process innovation. It can be a communication innovation. It can be a pricing innovation. It can be anything, right? But having said that, a technology company need to be at the forefront of the technology and use those latest elements which are available, if applicable, in their overall core offering. So we have done that, but most importantly, we really talk to the customers and see whether use of a particular technology is going to benefit our customer segment or not. There's no point in building a technology which is of no use to the customer. So no matter how great the technology is, if our customer segment is not going to benefit from that technology, why even invest it? So it's a choice, very conscious choice that we make on a regular basis to make sure that we are solving core issues that our customers have and our customers have entrusted us with.
That's amazing. So, what role does technology play in solving complex business problems for your clients? And also, how do you ensure that the company stays relevant and ahead of emerging trends? I think you just answered it, but if you can elaborate on it.
Yeah, I think technology is very important, but technology alone will not be able to solve the problem. That's for sure. We need to combine technology with governance, business process in order to solve a very complex problem. And I think organizations, as I said earlier, organizations need to stay ahead of the curve, right? With AI emerging so fast, no matter where you go, people talk about AI. Whether that AI, the technology is going to solve the problem or not is a secondary issue, but everyone would like to see some AI element in your offering. So there also what we do is we really talk to the customers and ask what their problem is, and quite often we have seen that problem can be solved with the technology that we have. We don't necessarily need AI, right? So I think these are very important decisions that we need to make. We also need to make sure that the customers also understand the offering technology, and then also we need to marry the technology, the emerging technology, with what we have and stay ahead of the curve.
That's incredible. Can you share with us a business decision that did not go as you expected, and also what the lessons you took away from that experience?
I think like any startup, it goes through multiple phases. So we also started with something in mind, which was basically Aadhaar e-sign. Then we quickly realized that it's really a commodity product. That means we can build it in no time. So that was a lesson early enough in our journey. So then we pivoted to a much broader problem definition, which is digital onboarding. And from there, we pivoted to master data management, and now we are a AI native digital orchestration platform. So every step and every decision that we made was based on the market feedback, based on what we want to achieve. And these are the lessons. I mean, there were many lessons along the way, but I think the lesson is really to quickly understand where we are at. Are we really solving the problem or not? Is it really a unique problem, right? Are we going to become a commodity, or are we going to stay ahead of the curve? So these are the things that we need to keep evaluating almost on a daily basis in order to make sure that we stay ahead of the curve, but most importantly, we really solve critical problems of the customer.
That's well said right there. How do you maintain a balance between innovation, operational efficiency, and customer satisfaction? Because that's the core foundation of any business, right?
Yeah, I think you can't separate these three. They are all interlinked. And if you are not solving the customer problem, you can't exist. You don't have a right to exist, in my opinion. So as a startup, if we are really not solving key customer issues, obviously customers will not come back to us. So that is at the core of it, and which is what we do on a daily basis. Operational efficiency is very important, and COVID taught us a lot about how to be efficient and stay frugal, but at the same time, build a good technology company. And without innovation, as I said, without innovation, a technology company cannot exist. We need to continue to innovate. A fine balance between these three is key. And sometimes I think it really depends on how the company is growing and what segment they are working in. But without having these three working in tandem, the organization will not be able to make progress.
That's fantastic. So this brings us to the wrap of segment 1. So quickly, let's move on to segment 2. So it will be a quick rapid fire round and only short and insightful answers, like I mentioned. One word that defines your leadership style.
Persistence.
A core value that drives Munch Technologies.
Customer first.
One habit that contributes most to your productivity.
It's basically staying at the problem and trying to solve it with the right technology.
That's nice. A common misconception about the technology industry.
Well, I think the common misconception is if you adopt the technology, it will solve the problem. That's a common misconception. As I said earlier, technology, process, governance all need to work together to solve a problem.
That's insightful. What is the most rewarding part of building a tech company?
I think, the value that we generate for the customer, and customer coming back and saying, hey, or customers referring other customers to us.
One skill every modern entrepreneur must develop.
Stay at the problem, just work with the problem until you solve it.
Your business mantra in one line.
I think as a startup entrepreneur, startup is a double marathon. So be ready for it.
I think that was a very fantastic round. You're very prompt and precise. So thank you for that. So let's move on to the segment 3, which will be a leadership advice. So Mr. Suresh, if you had to share one message with aspiring entrepreneurs looking to build impactful technology-driven businesses, what would it be?
Well, I mean, startup, I would say, is a very lonely journey. So be ready for that. But at the same time, it's a very rewarding experience. Don't look at the events. It's a process which matters. So don't go after news bites. Don't go after, I think those things will happen. Don't go after funding and so on and so forth, because that's a natural process. Focus on what you have started with. Focus on making sure that the customer adoption is good, your product is good, and it is solving the key problem for the customer. So these are the fundamentals of any industry, and it applies even to the startup. And basically stay, capital efficient, which is very important.
I think that's a very golden piece of advice right there. So this brings us to the last and final segment, the 4th segment. So my first question for you for this segment is, looking ahead, what major technology trends do you believe will shape the future of the businesses in the APAC region?
I think artificial intelligence is going to play a significant role in any industry. But most importantly, for AI to succeed, the data and process issues need to be resolved. So, even if you feed large amount of data to AI, but if that data is of no good or not good quality, the output that you're going to get is also going to be suboptimal. So focus first on the fundamentals, which is data, process, and governance, and then start building the AI components or AI tools and techniques on top of it, which is, and I believe AI is going to shape the industry. It's really going to disrupt a lot of things. It has already started disrupting the industry as well, especially on the software side.
That's very informative. How is Munch Technologies positioning itself to stay competitive in an increasingly digital first and innovation driven environment?
So as I said earlier, we have pivoted a couple of times, and now with the experience and the knowledge and the insights that we have of the Indian market as well as the global market, we are now a AI native digital orchestration platform, and I would say we are maybe one of the first ones to have this platform with the inbuilt master data management domains configured in it. And we work with large companies, and we have proved that we can solve some of the most complex and pressing issues that they have, and we'll continue to do that.
That's fantastic. What new innovations, solutions, or expansions can clients expect from Munch Technologies in the upcoming years? Like just a bit of your take on the future.
Yeah, I think we will be AI native company. As I said, our motto is AI native digital orchestration, and we are going to be AI native company, and we have already started that journey. Every aspect of Munch will be AI native. It's not going to be a layer on top of it, but it is fully embedded. It's going to be fully embedded into the platform, and we will use AI to the fullest. But at the same time, we will make sure that the core components which are needed for AI to be successful, which is data, process, and governance, is in place for any organization to succeed.
That's super. This brings me to the last and final question. In your view, what will differentiate successful technology companies in the next decade?
Any company which basically adopts to the changing business environment is going to really make it. At the same time, we have to be aware of the fact that AI is becoming a reality in every facets of our life. Don't blindly embrace AI, but use AI to solve critical issues and make that as a fundamental layer in your platform or in your product or in your offering. Just a layer which is on top of your platform may not solve the critical issues, but make it a critical platform feature, a fundamental feature of the platform.
That's very insightful, and definitely AI is the need of the hour. So yeah, Mr. Suresh, this brings us to the end of the interview. But before we say our goodbyes, I just want to give you a small vote of thanks. So thank you so much for sharing with us your valuable insights and your inspiring journey. Your story is a powerful example of how vision, persistence, and innovation can drive meaningful change and create lasting impact in the technological industry. We look forward to seeing Munch Technologies continue to grow and shape the future of digital transformation across the APAC region and beyond. To all of our viewers of the Enterprise World magazine, we will soon be back with more conversations featuring inspiring leaders and entrepreneurs right here on the Enterprise World magazine. Thank you so much, Mr. Suresh, for this time and effort for this call with us today. I think we had a very lovely and a fantastic conversation, and I wish you all the best for your company ahead.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye, take care, sir.